In Formula Apex, race mode is the most popular mode that users choose to play in the game. It's a great system where you get to race against a random lobby of drivers and race them to win. But if you're an experienced driver in the game, there's a good chance that you dominate the public lobbies a bit too much and racing can become quite boring. So here are 7 tips to make racing more interesting. The most basic of them all, give everyone else a cheeky head start. Maybe around 10 to 30 seconds depending on the cars that have been selected, as it is still possible for there to be drivers with the super fast 2021 cars. A last to first challenge can be interesting to see if you're able to win a race with a disadvantage. However, it can be quite risky as there could be another fast driver that will Max Verstappen the race instead of you. Using a slower car, if giving a head start feels too basic, then I recommend trying this. Every car is different in terms of pace and handling in general. The Formula B and 90s car being the slowest cars, whilst the 2007 and 2003 have a lot of power but very low on the downforce, and the 2010 has amazing handling but has very low top end speed. However, don't choose one of the 2024 top teams or the 2021 cars because those are faster and will make you win way too easily. I recommend going for older cars or Formula B for a real challenge. The strategy and driving style will definitely be different, which means you'll need to adapt accordingly if you want to succeed. And if you're racing against amateurs, a win could be in the books if your skill allows, doing one or a few extra pit stops. In general, unless people get front wing damage, they don't really pit in race mode because it's not mandatory to do so, and plus the softs can last like 10 laps or even more, which is the maximum of our laps that you can get in race mode. Obviously, depending on the track, you lose a certain amount of time when you're changing tires. So if you think you can win easily, why not go for a pit stop or two? And similarly to giving a head start, see if you have the pace to get back and claim your victory. This video is sponsored by our partners at INV Works. These guys make amazing UGC accessories including helmets, hats, radio headsets, and tons more. These products are high quality and at a very affordable price. Get some incredible UGCs at their Roblox store, the link will be in the description. Using manual gears. If you want to make it harder and more challenging for yourself, then you might as well use the sequential transmission option that is available to all the cars in the game. This is simply activated with the M key on your keyboard. To explain, the default transmission is automatic, where the gears are changed automatically for you, so all you have to do is accelerate and brake. However, with manual gears, you have control of the gears and you must change them for yourself and at the right time for optimal speed output. This option adds a lot more to the racing and gives you more control of the car, allowing you to potentially go faster. It is of course more difficult and requires experience, but definitely makes racing more interesting. Use the cockpit cam. In Formula Apex, most people will use this perspective for racing, which is known as the T-cam. It's great because it allows for good visibility. One of the simplest ways to add more excitement to your race is to change to the cockpit cam, which is enabled by cycling through the C key until you land on it. The cockpit cam gives you a pretty accurate view of what a real-life F1 driver's POV is like. Visibility is low of course, but the realism is highly increased. Because of the lowered vision of the track, it adds more of a challenge to drive the cars because you have to re-memorize the racing lines and braking points from a brand new perspective, which could impact your performance, but once you learn it, it can be a lot more satisfying. You can also try using an alternative control scheme to what you usually use. Let's say you've been using the controller for every race and you've mastered that. Why not learn using a keyboard, mouse, or even mobile controls? It can be really fun to relearn how to drive and master your skills with every control available. And as a bonus, why not try using a steering wheel controller if you've got one around? Just like I have in my videos, it's not too hard to set up. I have a tutorial right here which you can watch right after watching this video. So let's say you do all of that and you're still too quick and the racing still feels boring. Well, then you're probably fast enough to join one of Formula Apex's prestigious leagues. Obviously, I gotta recommend the good old PRC. Leagues will allow you to compete with players with skills matching to yours or even faster, which makes racing more intense and interesting, and you can also strive to improve and become as fast as the world record holders. And obviously with leagues, you have competition, you've got the point system and Roblox rules and stuff like that, and that also adds to the excitement of the racing. And that's about it for my 7 tips to make racing more interesting in Formula Apex. Of course, if you have any tips of your own, feel free to comment them down below. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. If you have enjoyed this video, do make sure to like and subscribe. Consider becoming a YouTube member or sending a super thanks to support the channel. And thanks to Creeperman, Meta Studios and Mr. Dilophosaurus for being ultimate members.